Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
Yo, what's up, LumioseStation? Today I have an ORSUU live Wi-Fi battle versus KingWill. I found him on my Twitter. So the team I'm gonna be using is the Blade, Mega Sceptile, Toxicroak, Crocodile, Scarf, Rotom Heat, and Subtoxic Jirachi. So it's a very, very offensive team. Offense is my favorite playstyle besides balance, and on Wi-Fi I prefer offense just because Wi-Fi takes a lot longer. So my opponent's team consists of Whimsicott, Tentacruel, Swampert. It could also be Mega Swampert, maybe. Although it does look like a Stealth Rocker, maybe a Stealth Rock, Mega Swampert, Slurpuff, which is definitely a threat. Good thing I have the Blade, Machamp, and Rotom Heat. So my opponent has a really fierce team. Definitely worth fighting. I want to lead off with Mega Sceptile because if he leads off with Pert, I can scare that thing out. Actually, I think Crocodile is better just to get off the Intimidate on whatever he leads off with. Also, if he leads off with Rotom Heat, I can switch out because that thing is a threat. The Blade looks to be my win condition. I forgot to write down his team. So Swampert, Slurpuff, Machamp, Rotom Heat, Tentacruel, and I was about to say Iruffin, but it's Whimsicott. I think Iruffin, whatever it was, it's a Japanese name. But alright, so we lead. Of course, he leads Machamp. Crap. But not necessarily too bad. In all honesty, I am super tempted just to go right for the Earthquake because part of me is expecting him to knock off, predicting my the Blade, and even then, Machamp is such a threat that I can't OHKO it with anything anyway, so I'm just gonna go for a Life Orb Earthquake. I'd rather get off like 70% on this Machamp than, or 60% rather, than switch around, as he does end up going for knockoff, predicting my Blade. So this is really gonna work out in my favor, as you guys saw right there. And I'm still expecting him to switch out because Dynamic Punch can definitely Dynamic Punch OHKOs me, but I can definitely knock him out with the Earthquake from there. So I'm predicting a switch out into Slurpuff. Not Slurpuff, oops, Whimsicott, as he actually ends up going out into the Oven, and either way, not necessarily too bad for me. I do want to pull the switch out into my own Rotom Heat, because if he goes for Overheat, that's a threat. It's really good that I made the play staying in turn 1. I was willing to sack my Crocodile, but at the same time, I kind of expected him to want to go for the knockoff, predicting my Blade, and I can't risk Blade getting knocked off. Blade is what stops me from getting swept by a Belly Jump Slurpuff, and it also walls Whimsicott. So what I'm going to do right here is actually trick my opponent. I'm pretty sure he's a defensive Rotom, just based on the fact that he has Will-O-Wisp, and if I can give him a Choice Scarf, I limit his recovery, especially with Stealth Rock up, as I am able to get his leftovers. And me having leftovers is actually really nice because, well, that thing is a threat. And he's more likely is defensive, so he probably won't be able to outspeed the majority of my team. And just crippling him, getting rid of his leftovers is really nice for me. So I'm expecting him to go out into Swampert right here. Honestly, Swampert looks to be his best play, as he actually ends up going out into his Machamp. Now, even if he is Assault Vest, Overheat will be able to knock him out. So maybe he's going to pull a double right here in the Tentacruel. Not entirely sure what he really wants to do, but I'm going for Overheat right here. Kind of, yeah, and Overheat isn't going to miss because of no guard, assuming he is no guard, and it's definitely going to knock him out regardless of having an Assault Vest at that range of HP. So he just sacks Machamp right there. I didn't really agree with that. Maybe he didn't want to risk me having HP Grass, which is definitely an option. I have HP Ice actually for Zygarde and stuff like that, but HP Grass is definitely an option, so maybe he didn't want to go out into Swampert fearing that. So I'm going to give it to him, as he is going to go out into Tentacruel right now. Now, my best play is Volt switching out, not into the Blade, because again, I don't want to take knockoff or scald damage or even risk the chance of burn, but Volt switching out into my Crocodile, because even if he spins, I get a crit. That sucks for my opponent. Wow, that really sucks, but I can go for my Stealth Rocks again, as and if he goes for Scald, he'll be able to knock me out, and he's at the range, especially after that crit, where my Mega Sceptile is a free switch. That was really unfortunate for my opponent that I got that crit, especially because I was -2. So he does end up going right for the Rapid Spin. Completely fine by me. Now, whether or not he wants to knock me out with Scald, that's his decision. As I'm just going to go for my Stealth Rock because I want to get them up. If he wants to if he wants to spam Rapid Spin, that's fine, as I can get up Stealth Rock later on versus Swampert or something, but he does end up going right for the Scald right here. I'm not sure if I'll actually go down to this Scald. Oh, well, I go straight down to that Scald, as I was able to get up my Rocks, though, which is going to be crippling the Rotom Heat as well as the Swampert. So Tentacruel is actually not at a bad range of HP, so I'm going to go out into my Rotom, and what I'm actually going to do is pull a double into my Sceptile, predicting him to go out into Swampert. I don't want to go into Sceptile. I didn't want to go directly into Sceptile and go for the Giga Drain, because one, he might be able to live if he's running Spadef. I'm not entirely sure for Mega Sceptile, but also if I can get this thing in versus Swampert, I basically get off a free attack, so that's why I wanted to make that play. So I'm going to pull the double into my Sceptile, predicting him to want to go out to Pert right now, as he does end up trying to go for the Rapid Spin. Either he predicted me or he didn't care. Volt Switch 100% would have knocked him out right there, so I didn't quite understand that play, but it worked out for my opponent, I guess. So what I can do right now is just Mega Evolve, and I kind of want to go for Dragon Pulse. It's stronger than Giga Drain anyway, and I won't be taking anything. It also hits Rotom Heat. I guess Whimsicott is a switch for him if he does have Hurricane, but he ends up staying in, so yeah, really surprised that he stayed in with his Tentacruel. Maybe I should have just went the safer play, which was going for Volt Switch. But at the same time, if Pert came in, I would have to sack something. So I'm going to be able to hit this thing with a Dragon Pulse, as at that range of HP, I am able to knock it out, which is good. But I lost my Stealth Rock, which sucks. But at the same time, though, my Rotom Heat is at full HP. So I can definitely take on his Rotom Heat, as he ends up going out to Swampert. Slurpuff, sorry. Not entirely sure what the Slurpuff is running. I'm going to go out to Jirachi before going out to Doublade, because I don't want to switch in Doublade on a Flamethrower. I'd rather get in Jirachi and then potentially get out a Toxic on this thing, as he ends up going for Belly Drum. Now, this thing gets Drain Punch now. Let me actually calc Slurpuff's UU Belly Drum. Drain Punch. Pretty sure I don't even know if a Drain Punch at +6 would knock me out. But I don't want to give him full recovery too. Just because Jirachi isn't like the weakest of Pokemon. Drain Punch at +6 does nothing. Holy crap. Why does it do nothing? Why do I live this like really well? It does 59 to 71%, guys. That's crazy. I actually live this extremely well, so I can just go for a safe Iron Head. He doesn't even have... Oh! That was probably a mistake on my opponent's part, as he didn't even have the Citrus, wasn't even able to activate. At the same time, I don't know how much it mattered, but right here, he is going to go out into his Rotom. I'm pretty sure with the Choice Scarf, even though he does have it, I can outspeed him. That really sucks for my opponent. He would have been able to get off 70%, but at the same time, or 59 to 71%, but at the same time, I was just sacking my Jirachi anyway. A crit wouldn't have even knocked me out. Unfortunately, his HP was probably made for level 100, so it didn't activate. Maybe he shouldn't have spun away my Stealth Rocks, but I'm just going to go for Sub, because if he goes for Overheat, that's fine. If he goes for Will-O-Wisp, it's a free Toxic for me, as he does end up going for Will-O-Wisp, and this is really bad for my opponent, because I do get off a free Toxic right here, and all he has left is 3 Pokemon. Now, while Rotom can beat Jirachi, he has to switch out to Swampert right here. He has to. And me being behind a Sub, and the fact that I'm going for Toxic right now, means Swampert isn't a threat at all to me. Unfortunately, my opponent went for Will-O-Wisp. I probably, if I was in his case, would have went for the Volt Switch or the Overheat right there. But I am able to land the Toxic on the Swampert, so if this is Mega Pert with like Rain Dance or something, I'm not worried about it because it has been whittled. And plus, I do have priority on my team to deal with it. So, hopefully, well, we'll see what type of Swampert this is. Honestly, my best play is just going for Iron Head. I hate having to do this though on Wi-Fi. What would I do if he breaks my sub though? I would sub again, obviously. Yeah, see, this would have happened if his Citrus Berry did activate. Well, I still would have been able to get off a Toxic had I subbed on the Rotom. I'm not sure if he would have went for Overheat, but he does end up being Mega Swampert, as he is going to be able to Mega Evolve right here. I'm not even sure what he's going to... Look at these arms. Look at the... been hitting the gym. But again, Iron Head is just to rack up passive damage. If I flinch him, that's cool. If I don't really care, because I want to just rack up the passive damage on this Swampert. As unfortunately for my opponent, I do get a flinch, and I really don't like want to do this to my opponent. I don't even feel like I have to. So what I am gonna do, about to make a series of plays. I'm gonna go out to Rotom. Actually, I have no reason to go out to Rotom. I'm just gonna switch directly into my Sceptile, as there's no way he's going for the Ice Punch right here, as Waterfall or Earthquake will be his best play. I guess if he has Rain Dance, that'd be pretty cool too, but he does end up going for the Earthquake. And now, I could definitely just go right for Giga Drain and knock him out, but because he does have the Rotom Heat and the Whimsicott, I'm not entirely sure which one he wants to go out into, but I'm tempted to go for Dragon Pulse, predicting Rotom Heat, because if I can weaken that at all, I'll be in a good position. If he ends up staying in, he'll go down to Poison anyway, so it's not like I really need Sceptile for this battle. And if I do end up weakening the Rotom, he's in basically range for my Doublade, so he does end up going out to Whimsicott. That's cool, but it shouldn't matter too much, just because I do have HP Fire. I don't really need Sceptile for this game anymore, especially because Swampert has been weakened. And I'm just making the plays that I can make so nothing happens. He actually ends up going for Leech Seed, predicting me to switch. That was a fair play, in all honesty. I definitely had 2 Steel types that I could have went out into, but I am max Special Attack Sceptile, and unfortunately for my opponent, I do get another crit. Well, I'm getting pretty lucky here with the crit on... what else did I crit? I know I crit something. And the fact that his Citrus Berry didn't activate, that was a little bit unfortunate. But I can go right for a safe Giga Drain right now, as he is going to switch out into Rotom Heat, predicting that. Good play on his part. And honestly, I don't really care if he Volt Switches or anything. I just want to weaken this thing with Dragon Pulse for my Doublade to just win the game. So I believe that's going to be the play I'm going to make. I'm just going to go for Dragon Pulse. That way, plus 2 Shadow Sneak will be able to knock him out. I'll 100% be able to outspeed this Rotom, because he was more than likely defensive. And it's already been shown that my Jirachi does outspeed. So I'll be able to get off a Dragon Pulse, as he is going to go right for the Overheat. And at that range of HP, it should definitely be able to knock out my Sceptile. But he is in -2, so I'm basically inside with the play I want to be. Another play I can make right here is... I have 2 plays I can make. I can go out to Doublade. No, Doublade isn't the play. I can go out to Toxicroak, or I can go out to Rotom. Honestly, Rotom seems fine to me. I'm just keeping the Blade in the back just in case anything, but Rotom seems 100% fine, as I believe I can just click HP Ice just because it weakens Swampert, as he ends up going for Overheat. It was just my best play because it also knocks out Whimsicott. It should weaken Swampert, or at least make it a 3 KO with the poison damage. And the fact that he is so low on HP is just going to be better for me. So he ends up going right for Overheat again, as yeah, I can just continuously go for Hidden Power. Another play I can make is just go right for the Volt Switch. I am just going to go for Volt Switch just to speed this up a bit. I don't see him switching out to Pert right now, just because I already revealed the Hidden Power, but maybe he doesn't know it's grass or not. I guess Whimsicott's a play. He does end up sacking his Whimsicott, which is the good play. Definitely Whimsicott wasn't doing anything versus me, and it gives me a free switch, though, which is what I like. So I'm going to end the Volt Switching out into my my Toxicroak, because Toxicroak can just go for Drain Punch on Pert. I like to show off my Pokemon also in the battle. Like, I don't have to do this. Honestly, I could have just stayed in with Jirachi and just flinched his team to death, but that's not fun. That's not something I enjoy. So he ends up going out into his Swampert right now, and he can definitely knock me out with the Earthquake. Maybe he thinks it's a 50-50 and he might go for the Waterfall, predicting my Rotom Heat. Either way, I don't really care, because Drain Punch takes off a bit of damage on him. It also weakens him for Doublade, just to pick him off with the Shadow Sneak. So he does end up going right for the Earthquake, as that will be able to knock me out. But I'm pretty sure I'll be able to reveal my last Pokemon, which is my Doublade. And I actually want to calc Mega Small. If he doesn't die to Poison, I want to go for SD and win with Doublade. So, RUSD. Doublade is so bulky, guys, if you didn't know. Mega Swampert. Yeah, Earthquake only does 60 to 71%. That's crazy. So I'm going to go for SD just in case his Rotom is... Actually, Rotom... I don't have to go for SD. Rotom is going to die. It's like a 12%. So I will be able to knock this thing out with the Shadow Sneak, and I'm pretty sure Deblade is going to be able to finish off this game. So had he got the Citrus Berry, I think it would have been good for him in a sense that he would have gotten off 70% on my Jirachi, but I don't think it would have been too game-changing in the end, as I still could have went for sub on his Rotom. Maybe he would have went for Overheat, but like I said, I still could have went for sub on the Rotom. I still could have Toxic the Swampert if things worked out like that. Like, yeah, and I didn't really... had I not been able to get off the Toxic on Swampert, I'm pretty sure Mega Sceptile would have played more a role in this game. So yeah, good game, dude. KingWill. I'm pretty sure I got predicted when he went for that Rabbitsman. Yeah, he probably did expect me to double in his Sceptile predicting Pert. I could see that happening. So yeah, guys, leave a like if you enjoyed. Check me out if you want. And until next time, later.